Hey guys, welcome to the garden. Tonight I am going to be cutting the rest of my onion tops off to take those in and use them to make some more pesto before I harvest my onions. So as you can kind of see behind me, the bed is, the onions are pretty much ready to come out. They are starting to flop over, and when your onions start to flop over, that indicates that they're done, essentially. They're not going to get any bigger, so it's a good time to harvest those. So I'm not quite ready to pull the onions themselves out yet, like the bulbs. I have to create a place to cure those, and I think I'm actually going to do it in my garage. I have some of those like wire like shelving units, the metal like wire ones, and I think what I'm gonna actually do is take one of those and empty a shelf off, and then I can kind of hang them down through the shelf and let them cure there. They need to be somewhere that is dry and warm, I think. So that would be the garage. That should work perfectly. I could do them in the greenhouse, but I don't really necessarily have the room in the greenhouse right now. I'm kind of using my greenhouse as like a storage shed this summer. I have like some pieces of landscape fabric in there that I can pull out and use for things. My straw is in there, and I keep like my bucket in there if I need to or whatever. So greenhouse not really an option, but the garage is an option. So I wanted to come out here and I'm gonna cut onion tops tonight, but I also wanted to talk about the fall garden, because although it is hot outside still, it is the very tail end of June, it is time to start thinking about the fall garden. So if you watched my last garden tour, I'll put a link to that up in the corner. I had a little bit of a garden disaster happen last week, and so now half my garden is just raw soil. So with that being said, I have replanted pretty much everything. In that garden tour, I planted some squash and some zucchini, like some summer squash. Last night I came out and planted a whole bunch of pole beans and some more cucumbers. I actually bought a new variety of cucumbers for me, the Armenian yard long or Armenian long cucumber, I don't know, but I bought those. I got them on sale in my gardener like a month ago maybe, and thought, okay, well, I'll have to wait till next year to try these because I don't really have the room, but now I do. So I planted those and a bunch of pole beans. I did purple potted, rattlesnake, Kentucky Wonder, and blue lake pole. So hopefully all that stuff comes up and we will have a nice late summer-ish, early fall crop of some beans, some squash, and some cucumbers. So with that all being said, I am gonna cut onion tops and we're gonna talk about the fall garden. So I arguably have never had a good fall garden, like ever. And I don't know, I've never really put the effort into a fall garden. And that is simply because, I don't know, I've felt analysis paralysis by it, and so I've just never done it. So this year, especially now that I have, you know, the room, and I'm about to pull up this whole onion bed, and so this bed will be empty as well, I definitely want to do a fall garden this year. I have some seeds and stuff that I want to start for fall, because I want to just do another round of things, you know. I want to do another round of kale for sure. I want to do more lettuce, obviously. That's something I definitely want to do more of. I have like cabbage seeds and I have broccoli seeds. I'd love to do those as well. I've never really done those. I've never done cabbage. I have done broccoli, but it's been from like started plants that I purchased. So I don't know really anything about growing broccoli from seed. I need to do some more research, but I'm trying to figure out like when to start these things. I know that I'm going to start some like from seed in a tray. The good thing is it's warm outside, and so I won't have to necessarily start things in the house, which is nice. I can probably start some stuff in the greenhouse, which is going to be my goal. I do have like a shade system I can put on the greenhouse. I actually did it in the spring. So my shade system for the greenhouse is nothing super fancy. It's literally just a piece of landscape fabric that I use, that I actually just drape over the outside. So it keeps it about 10 degrees cooler than it would be without that piece of landscape fabric. And it works pretty well. But I have seen this on TikTok and I kind of want to try this. There's a person that I keep seeing, and they have a greenhouse like mine. It's made out of cattle panels. Theirs is 2 panels, mine is just 1, but whatever. And they take like pieces of burlap fabric, and they use those curtain clips for your curtains in your house, and they attach them on the inside to their greenhouse. And so in the summer they call it their shade house, and I just think that's so cool. So I may think about doing that as well, because we do have severe storms here, and so a piece of landscape fabric draped over the top of the greenhouse would very easily blow off in a storm. So I don't know, just something I'm thinking about, because I would like to do fall crops, but I don't want to necessarily have to worry about starting them indoors and keeping them going throughout a few weeks to get them outside. I'd rather just start them in the greenhouse if I can. So if I end up doing that, I'll be sure to show you how I do it. I think that'd be a great way to start seeds for the fall, but also I've never done it, so we'll see what happens. So basically what I'm thinking about doing, I want to do a bunch more lettuce. I want to do more kale. So those things can be like direct sown, or I could start kale. I may start kale. I may do both, who knows. So I'll have those things. I want to do some more spinach, obviously, because that has long since bolted for me. And I want to do some more root vegetables. So I do have some roots planted over in this raised bed over here right now, but mostly like, actually I only have carrots. I just have carrots over there. So I want to do more roots. I want to do like rutabagas and parsnips and beets. I really want to do beets. I've never done beets. So I got to figure out how and where I'm going to do all of those things. So once I figure that out, I'll know more. So I'm going to use this bed. I'm going to amend it once these onions are out, and then I can plant in here. I also have my potato bed, which once those are out, I can use that. I'm going to do more peas too. Yes. And then over here in this other bed, I have shallots, and once the shallots come out, I have half of that bed available as well. So I have plenty of room. I also have more in-ground space that I can use too. So I have the room, I just don't really know like what I'm doing yet. Now as far as the in-ground garden goes, when the end of the season comes, I do have a cover crop that I bought from Botanical Interests last year, and I didn't use it. It's called Soil Builder, and it's a blend of peas and oats. It's supposed to help build up like depleted soil, which I have. So I'm gonna try that and see how that goes. And then I'm also working on getting some clover sown out here. So it's kind of where I'm at with fall so far. I definitely want to do, you know, root vegetables, things that are frost hardy, like kale. But I'm not opposed to also doing some frost tender things. Essentially, also because I just planted a bunch of beans and more cucumbers. So those will last me until the frost comes. Which for me here, where I am in South Central Indiana, I'm in zone 6A/5B. My estimated first frost date for this year is like October like 18th or something like that. So I still have plenty of time to plant. I mean, honestly, pretty much whatever I want, really. I could plant more tomatoes if I had plants. I probably wouldn't be able to do seeds at this point, but if I had plants, I could do more tomatoes. I'm not going to, but I could. Well, okay. I do have some suckers in a jar of water in my office, so I don't know. But those were an insurance policy because I was worried that I was going to lose some in the happenings last week. So anyway, I don't think I'm going to plant those, but I could. I still could. I still have time. So yeah, I really want to do a fall garden this year. I'm really determined. I think I can do it. I have time. I'm thinking ahead enough that I should be able to get a pretty good amount of stuff started and ready to plant by the time planting time comes for fall. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I am going to work on getting this bed harvested. Like I said, I have to find a place to cure these, or make a place to cure these. But once that's done, these can be pulled out and then I can amend this bed. So by the time the fall garden happens, I should have some worm castings I can put on this bed too, which would be cool. I may plant some more dill somewhere, like now. I'm looking over at my dill and I didn't plant a ton because I was planning on planting more and then I never did. So I may plant more dill somewhere, like in one of these raised beds maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm just trying to get ahead of the fall garden before it sneaks up on me and I don't have time to do it. That's what's happened the last like 3 years, I think. I've said, yeah, I'm gonna do a fall garden, but then it's September and I'm like, oh, I don't have time. So that's why we're talking about this at the end of June. So that way I can get my stuff together and start some seeds at, I don't know, I'm thinking like mid to late July. So like a month from now. So if a month from now I haven't posted anything about planting my fall seeds, let me know. I'm letting you keep me accountable because I really want to have a good fall garden this year. All right, well, the onion tops are harvested, and I think I have a pretty good grasp on my fall gardening plan so far. I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Maybe nail down like a better timeline of when I'm gonna start everything. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. Doing this and getting this bed ready to pull the onions and get it ready for fall planting is really making me think about that fall garden, because I'm trying not to waste any planting space this year. So I'm gonna have this bed, I'm gonna have the potato bed, so I need to use them. That's my thought. So let me know what you're planting for fall. I would love to know. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in and rinse these onion tops off and get them ready to do some pesto. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.